my companion and I, we were looking for people to teach. Acapulco is a very fruitful area in general, and so when I got there, I noticed how well the members worked, and how responsive they were to our invitations to invite people to take the missionary lessons. But nonetheless, the first couple months I was there worked really hard, and we weren't getting anything, even though this area was really known for how well, how responsive the people were. And so, we had been praying to, obviously, as we always are, to find people. And we were talking to a man on the street, and just, regular street contact outside of his house, when all of a sudden this young woman appears right behind us, and then her sister in the car just a little way just like stopped in the middle of the street, got out of her car, and walked right up to us and asked, just totally interrupted us in our contact and said, "Do you take the sacrament?" And we were just like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, do Mormons take the sacrament?" We're like, yes, we do. You can come on Sunday and you can see what it's like. And because, she had to get going back into the car that was just parked in the middle of the street on a pretty, fairly busy street. And she said, well, that'd be great. So we asked for where she lives. She's like, "I don't want you to come visit, but here's my number." And so we got her phone number. Didn't really think much of it because it happened fairly frequently. People would give us enough information so that we would go away, but not really, be able to set up an appointment. A totally random experience, and we're like, okay. So a couple weeks pass, and I don't really think about this. What was, we're not like we were thinking about them every day, but we used to have our meeting with we used to have ward council right before church at 11, and so it was about 10:30, and our cell phones didn't have outgoing calls, so we used the church phone to call investigators, remind them about church. And so we were in the middle of making calls. "Hey, you coming to church today?" "Oh, no, I can't." "Are you coming to church today?" "Oh, I'm out of town." And everyone was saying, "No, not going today." And then so I was just looking through my missionary planner, looking through who can we call. We have 10 minutes before we need to start, welcoming people to church. I'm here, might as well start calling people. And I flipped through and I saw their name and the number. And I thought, okay, might as well, So I call them up and I say, "Oh," and they just woke up and they're like, "What time's church?" "Starts in 20 minutes. Okay, we'll be there." Just these two girls, these two young women show up about 10 minutes late to church, and they loved it, and they got baptized 10 days later. And the miracle of it all was that they had been thinking about going to church for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and the night before they called and they prayed, and they said, "Heavenly Father, we'll go to church tomorrow if two things happen. One, if I don't feel tired in the morning, if you take away all the drowsiness, and 3, if we receive a call to go." Sorry, I guess that was 2 reasons. But so about 5 minutes before we called, their dog just started barking and it wouldn't stop barking, and so they had to get up. And they took away the drowsiness, and then we called 5 minutes later to ask if they would go, and it was kind of an answer to their prayers, and they just really fit right in to they knew it was true. They had to overcome some cultural differences. Some of their beliefs were a little bit different than in the church, but slowly they started to catch on to the principles, and they went to church the next week, and they decided to get baptized. It was a really cool experience.